It's now time to unveil a very special project that we've been working on at LifeWave. And this is a nutritional formula which is complementary to all of our LifeWave daytime patches. Now, let me explain. Let's say that you are a vegan or a vegetarian, and you want to use the LifeWave X39 patch. You may be missing some things in your diet that would complement and enhance the use of the X39 patch. For example, you may not be getting enough copper in your diet or enough glycine in your diet. And these would be things that would limit the production of peptides like GHKCU. So what we've been working on and what we've now developed is a special nutritional formula that complements the activity of all of our LifeWave patches. So regardless of what type of diet that you have or your daily nutrition, this one formula does it all. So let's dig in on the details. We have two formulas. The first one we call LifeWave Energize, and it's designed to be used either once or twice per day. The important thing to know about this formula is that it complements the use of all of our LifeWave daytime patches, but also importantly, as you're about to see, this unique nutritional supplement is also designed to complement and enhance the activity of the stem cells in the body. Let's dig into this in more detail. First, the general ingredient profile. What we've included in this formula are a variety of compounds that normally you would have to supplement with separately, or you'd have to design your diet to get these nutrients. So we're making this very convenient where you can take this formula once or twice per day and get all of the nutritional needs that are required for the optimum use of the patches. So we have things like the amino acid glycine, which is used in elevating glutathione and elevating copper peptide. NAC, which is critical for the production of glutathione. Lysine, which is also important in the production of copper peptide, and so forth. But what do each of these nutrients do individually, and why did we include them? First thing, let's talk about the amino acid glycine. Glycine is an amino acid, and it is a precursor to GHKCU and glutathione. One of the other things that's important to know about glycine is that it will help to support the role of stem cells in the body. Here is a clinical study that was done on just glycine and the activity of stem cells. In this study, which is entitled Glycine Cleavage System Determines the Fate of Pluripotent Stem Cells via the Regulation of Senescence and Epigenetic Modifications, demonstrated that enhancing the diet with glycine would support the activity of stem cells in the body. So we're seeing benefits not only from glycine's use as a precursor to copper peptide, but also individually as a very powerful signaling molecule in just being an amino acid. So we've included glycine in this formula. Now, patches that are synergistic with glycine include an entire variety of patches, as you can see. So the role of glycine in elevating copper peptide, which supports the X39 patch, is very easy to understand. In addition, glycine is used to form glutathione in the body. So glycine would make an excellent companion to our glutathione patch. We also see that glycine, because it plays a role in muscle growth, would be a great complement for X49 and also for our carnosine patch. Now, glycine is also associated with the health of the nervous system, and as a result, stress reduction. So, for example, when you elevate antioxidants like glutathione because of enhanced glycine intake, that is going to reduce stress on the nervous system, and that makes it complementary with EON. So, glycine has been included in this formula for that reason. Now, the next nutrient in this nutritional formula is NAC, or N-acetylcysteine. Now, NAC is lacking, or I should say cysteine is lacking from people's diets today because they're not taking in enough eggs or enough dairy products for other health reasons. So often people have to resort to a N-acetylcysteine supplement in order to support the levels of glutathione in the body. So we have included NAC in this formula. Another very important thing is that we know that our body's levels of glutathione are directly associated with our lifespan and our health. So not surprisingly, glutathione plays an incredibly important role in the health of the stem cells, and clinical studies will in fact show that. So here's a really interesting image, and this has to do with the effect of glutathione and stem cells. And this was a method that was identified to rejuvenate old stem cells. So this is so critically important to understand because in biology, we often think that aging is just a one-way street. We are born, we age, and then we die. But now it's being shown through a variety of different methods that even something as simple as glutathione can reverse the age of the stem cells. Not surprisingly, NAC is complementary for a whole host of LifeWave patches, including X39 and glutathione. In addition, we see that because glutathione is the body's master antioxidant and it plays such an important role in the health of our immune system and suppressing inflammatory and oxidative stress, it really becomes a great complement to all of our LifeWave daytime patches. Now, the next ingredient that we've included in the LifeWave Energized Daytime formula is the amino acid lysine. Now, when we think of lysine, we often think of its benefits for the immune system. But of course, we've included it because lysine supports the formation and is necessary for copper peptide. But not surprisingly, lysine by itself as an amino acid has also been shown to support the health and the proliferation and differentiation of stem cells in the body. Here's a clinical study that shows that the regulatory mechanism of lysine acetylation is in mesenchymal stem cells. Now, MSCs, as they're often referred to, was something that we studied during our stem cell research at the Regenerative Medicine Institute at the National University of Ireland. And what's important about this type of stem cell is that it releases growth factors. So when we want to heal from injury, this will in part be dependent upon the health and activity of this type of stem cell. So what's great to know is that lysine will support the health of these stem cells, as well as supporting copper peptide. So we've included it in our daytime formula for that reason. Patches that are synergistic with lysine include X39, glutathione, and X49. Now, the next ingredient that we've included is copper, and we've included it in the form of copper glycinate. Copper is extremely underrated as a nutrient, and most people do not get enough copper in their diet. It's required, of course, to make copper peptide, and peptides like GHK and AHK have an extremely high affinity for binding with copper, and hence some of the special attributes that these peptides have. Interestingly enough, in clinical research, it's been found that copper supports the migration of stem cells. Copper, of course, has also been used to historically suppress infection in the body, so it's extremely antimicrobial. So it's very important to get enough copper in your diet. So here's a clinical study that shows the relationship between copper and stem cells. And again, what we see here is that copper promotes the migration of stem cells that are in the bone marrow, these MSCs. And this is important because when we have an injury in the body, the stem cells need to be released either from fat deposits or from the bone marrow so they can do their job. And copper helps to facilitate this process. So patches that you would find that would be synergistic with getting enough copper would, of course, be X39 and X49, but also IceWave. The reason for this, it's been found that when people have higher levels of copper, it makes them more resistant to pain. So if you've been suffering with a chronic pain, it could be that one of the things that you can do, which is incredibly simple and inexpensive, is simply increase your daily intake of copper. Now, the next nutrient that we've included in this formula is beta-alanine. Now, beta-alanine, of course, is an amino acid, and it is also a precursor to carnosine and AHK-CU. Beta-alanine is incredibly important, and it's something that each of us should be consuming daily. The reason is that, as we've previously discussed, lifespan can be dramatically enhanced by elevating carnosine, not only to mention the direct lifestyle improvements we get from elevating carnosine, such as improvements in cognition, improvements in strength, stamina, and overall muscle density, as well as improving the health of the heart and the cardiovascular system. So beta-alanine is something that you should be including in your daily diet. Now, of course, the other benefit to this is that beta-alanine is going to be supporting the activity of the stem cells in the body. Here's an interesting study showing the relationship between how carnosine protects against oxidative stress with intestinal stem cells. So a surprising finding, but nevertheless, that's a role that carnosine will play in the body. So patches that we have that are synergistic with carnosine and beta-alanine would, of course, include X39, glutathione, X49, the carnosine patch, and SP6. This is because that by getting an intake of beta-alanine and raising carnosine, it can help to regulate your blood sugar, which of course is another amazing benefit of beta-alanine. Now, another ingredient that we've included in the daytime formula is creatine, and in the form of creatine monohydrate. Now, often people are going to think about creatine as being a supplement only for athletes, and nothing could be further from the truth. It's been found that creatine, because it is an energy-carrying molecule, is incredibly important for cognition as well as the overall health and performance of the heart. So while athletes use creatine to improve the strength and the size of their muscles, improve their stamina, even if you're not an athlete, you're going to benefit from creatine. Now, during this research, I was very familiar with the benefits of creatine relative to athletes, but I was in fact surprised to find that there is a connection between creatine and stem cell activity. Here's a clinical study that shows that creatine is involved in supporting the health and the vitality of stem cells. Now, we are never going to make any type of claims that our products can be used to treat or prevent any type of disease or illness. So this information is just so you can understand that creatine is in fact important for the health and the vitality of stem cells. Now, because creatine plays such an important role in our health, not surprisingly, it is synergistic with all of our daytime patches. Now, another nutrient that we've included is selenium. Selenium, I think, is also fairly underrated. It can be found naturally in things like Brazil nuts, but many people are not getting enough selenium in their diet. Selenium is extremely important for the production of glutathione in the body. And interestingly enough, selenium has been linked to stem cell potency. So if we want to make our stem cells healthy and active, we want to make sure we're getting enough selenium in the diet. Here's a clinical study that's very interesting because it's showing how selenium is related to the wound healing process in the body. So many of you may suffer with an acute or chronic injury. Now, using something as simple as selenium will enhance the results that you're getting with the patches and support your overall wellness. So not surprisingly, as a result, having a supplement with selenium is going to be synergistic with X39, glutathione, carnosine, SP6, and energy enhancer. Another nutrient that would be important to include because we have copper in this formula would be zinc. Now, when most of us think of zinc, the first thing that we're going to think about is the health of our immune system. And absolutely, it is true that zinc plays a very important role in supporting the health and the vitality of immune cells in the body. And zinc by itself, when applied topically to different types of viruses and bacteria, can kill them on contact like copper. There's also a balance and a ratio between copper and zinc in the body. So we want to make sure that we include zinc because we're including copper. Not only that, and maybe not surprisingly, zinc will support the health and the proliferation of stem cells in the body. And here, in fact, is a clinical study showing how zinc enhances the migration and self-renewal potential of human umbilical cord MSC stem cells. So because of this, zinc is complementary to a number of our LifeWave patches, including X39, glutathione, X49, and Eon. Now, another nutrient that is important to include in this formula is potassium. Most people have a potassium deficiency because they're not getting enough in their diet or they're getting too much sodium in the diet. Potassium can be used for a variety of different things in the body, such as helping to maintain healthy blood pressure. So many of you with hypertension may be simply lacking enough potassium. Something else that we know about potassium is that it can be used to help maintain the health of the cardiovascular system. It's an important electrolyte. And in studies that were done at Oxford, it was shown that potassium is the key nutrient that helps to maintain the balance of alkalinity to acidity in the body. So, in other words, many people want to have an alkaline diet, and to do this, just simply increase your intake of potassium. Not surprisingly, because potassium is ubiquitous, it's found throughout the entire body, it also supports the health and vitality of stem cells. So here's a clinical study showing how the changes in potassium levels were directly related to the activity of human MSC stem cells. Because potassium is found throughout the entire body, because it plays such an important role in nearly every aspect of our health, you would expect that it is synergistic with all of our LifeWave daytime patches for a variety of different reasons. One interesting thing also about potassium is that it helps to support the body's levels of nitric oxide and can recycle nitric oxide. So what that means is, because nitric oxide is a vasodilator, it helps improve our circulation. One thing that we can do to help support our cardiovascular system in this way is to make sure we're getting enough potassium in our diets. Now, of course, another electrolyte that vast majority of the population, over 60% of the population, is deficient in would be magnesium. And magnesium, one of the key benefits is that it helps to bring our body into a state of relaxation. So, for example, magnesium can be used to help support healthy blood pressure levels. And in addition, magnesium taken before bedtime can help to support overall health and relaxation. Not surprisingly, as a result, magnesium supports the health of the nervous system. And of course, as you would expect, magnesium is required for the health and the vitality of the stem cells. So here's a clinical study showing the effects of magnesium on the growth and the proliferation of human embryonic stem cells. Because magnesium is found throughout the entire body, and it plays a role in well over 300 different metabolic processes, as you would expect, all of the LifeWave patches are synergistic with intake of magnesium. Now, here's one that is a little bit surprising, but we have included fiber in this supplement, and most notably, soluble fiber. First thing is, most people don't get enough fiber in their diet, so that was one good reason to include it. But because these are a powdered formula that you add to water, the fiber helps to give the product a little bit more body. So it's a very enjoyable experience to consume this formula. In addition, fiber is going to play, especially soluble fiber, is going to play a very important role in the health of our immune system. So here's a clinical study, again, maybe quite surprisingly, that there is a relationship between the intake of soluble fiber and the health of the stem cells in the body. Of course, we know that and a very important part of our immune system is found in the gut. So consuming enough fiber is going to help not only our immune system, but also the probiotics in our gut. So for that reason, fiber is a prebiotic, which is a food for the probiotics in our gut. So it's really multi-purpose in that respect. So you could say that fiber is really going to be synergistic with all of our LifeWave patches. But for this discussion, we would really focus in on 3 different patches, which is X39, glutathione, and of course, SP6. when people are interested in maintaining healthy weight or losing some extra body fat, of course, increasing soluble fiber would be a great way to do that. So we are very excited about releasing this new nutritional formula. So you're going to be hearing more about this in the coming months. But importantly, you are seeing now that we are including this information about this product on our website. We want people to know that we have a supplement coming where we can make claims about this product supporting the health and the vitality of the stem cells in the body, as well as activation of stem cells. So that's why you're seeing the information on our website today. I've tried this product. It is absolutely incredible. You're going to love taking it. And of course, you're going to love the benefits.
How is that for a monumental announcement? The first LifeWave nutritional supplement. But that's not all. Let's welcome David Schmidt, founder and CEO, back to share another exciting product surprise.
So now that you've heard about our daytime nutritional formula, it's time to unveil the evening formula, which has been designed to work with all of our LifeWave patches that people commonly use in the evening. And like the daytime formula, this has been specifically formulated to work with all of the evening patches, as well as to support your health and vitality and support the health and vitality of the stem cells in the body. So this formula is very, very interesting because what we've done is we've included nutrients that complement the patches. So with the daytime formula, what we did was use ingredients like NAC to support the elevation of glutathione. We use glycine, lysine, and copper to support the promotion of copper peptide levels in the body. With the nighttime formula, we took a slightly different approach. We wanted to use nutrients that would complement the evening patches. So let's dig into this. The ingredient profile in this formula is going to include the amino acid taurine, magnesium threonate, L-theanine, nattokinase, and fiber. So let's discuss each one and why we included it, and also what benefits you might expect from this formula. Now, first thing that I'm going to say is that there are benefits to each of these nutrients that go well beyond relaxation and promotion of sleep. And first and foremost, this is going to start with taurine. Taurine is one of the most exciting nutrients that we have been researching in the field of anti-aging as well as age reversal. An interesting fact is that as you age, your body's levels of taurine will decrease. Taurine can be found in the brain and in the heart, and in men, it's found in the genitals. One interesting study that was done with taurine had to do with men's testosterone levels. And it was actually found that if men supplemented with taurine prior to the age of 40, and they continued to supplement, that they would not see a decrease in their testosterone levels throughout their life. That's pretty powerful stuff. In addition, higher doses of taurine have been seen to play a role in maintaining proper blood pressure. And in fact, one study even shows that taurine is more effective than pharmaceutical drugs at lowering blood pressure. So again, we're not making any type of health or medical claims here. We're simply providing a nutritional supplement to support your overall health and vitality. So these are many things that you would want to know about the amino acid taurine. Now, the reason why we included it in this formula is that it helps to put your body into a state of relaxation. It won't necessarily cause you to go to sleep, but it will provide the conditions and the mood to help you sleep better. Now, because we are designing these formulas to promote the health and vitality of stem cells in the body, not surprisingly, with all these benefits, studies have been shown that, in fact, taurine does support health and vitality of stem cells and even the proliferation of stem cells. And here is a study that you can see the link to below. Now, patches that you might want to use in the evening that would be synergistic with taurine would include things like Eon, Carnosine, Ice Wave, Silent Nights, and Alavita. Ice Wave is here, by the way, because very often what we see in clinical studies is that when people have pain, they have low levels of potassium and magnesium in the body. So very often when people are suffering in pain, by getting enough magnesium, they can reduce that pain. Now, the next ingredient in this formula is L-theanine. And L-theanine is found in a variety of different natural things such as mushrooms and green tea, and it is noted to promote rest and relaxation. So very often people will even take theanine as a way to help improve the quality of their sleep. So as a result, we've included it in this formula. Very interesting study information about L-theanine and its role in stem cells in the liver. So I wanted to link to a study here. L-theanine, when it was used to treat stem cells, alleviates cytotoxicity that's induced in the liver. So in other words, by taking L-theanine, you can improve the health of the liver, and this in turn improves the health of the stem cells in the body. So because L-theanine is going to support overall rest and relaxation, we would recommend its use with our evening patches such as Eon, Ice Wave, Silent Nights, and Alavita, and for that reason, we included it in this formula. Now, nattokinase is derived from fermented soy, and I think at first glance, it would be a very unusual thing to include in an evening formula when we're talking about improving the health and quality of sleep. In other words, other nutritional supplements that are on the market for improving sleep generally do not include nattokinase, but we have included it here for a variety of different reasons. So let's dig into that just for a moment. Again, the first thing about nattokinase is that it's not naturally found in the body. This is an enzyme that we would have to get in our diet, and it's found in what's called natto, which is a form of fermented soy. Now, this is found in the Japanese diet, and what researchers in Japan found about people that were consuming natto was that they had a lower risk of heart disease. And so when studies started to be done to find out the reason why, it was found that this enzyme, nattokinase, could improve the health and the vitality of the cardiovascular system. And it does this in a variety of different ways. More recently, since the pandemic, one of the things that has been discovered with nattokinase is that it will reduce the body's levels of fibrinogen, which are elevated from the spike protein. So this means that if you got an mRNA vaccine or if you had COVID, you may have elevated levels of fibrinogen in the body, and you're going to want to bring those down. And one way to do that is to take a supplement of nattokinase. The other thing that we know is that there is definitely a relationship between the quality of sleep and the health of the cardiovascular system. This is something that is often overlooked. So because the quality of sleep and the quality of the health of the heart is so interconnected, that was another reason why we wanted to include nattokinase in this formula. Also very interesting about the relationship between nattokinase and stem cells. It seems that there is a future in using nattokinase in wound healing. And here is a study that we've linked to, so you can investigate that if you so wish. So because nattokinase improves the health of the heart and the cardiovascular system, improves circulation, not surprisingly, people that are athletes that want to get the best athletic performance, they would use patches like carnosine, like X39, and use a nattokinase supplement. From the perspective of sleep, this makes nattokinase a natural for combining not only with carnosine, but with Silent Nights and Alavita as well. And like our daytime formula, we have also included in our evening formula fiber, soluble fiber. This again is to help give this nutritional formula because it is a powder that you will add over to water. It helps give it more body. And for all the reasons that we explained before, fiber is going to support the health of the immune system. And as a prebiotic, it's going to support the flora in the gut and improve the amount of probiotics that you have. Interestingly enough, there is a correlation between fiber and stem cells, as we've talked about. So fiber, of course, is synergistic with X39, glutathione, SP6, and all of our evening formulas and evening patches. So we will be coming out with the evening formula in the coming months, and we'll keep you posted on that. The important thing is that we wanted to get the information out to you now so you know what we have planned, and also so you can see that we're introducing this formula to support the health and vitality of the stem cells in the body and round out our product line. I'm very excited about this. You're also really going to love the taste of this formula. It's extraordinarily enjoyable to drink, and I know you're going to want to add it into your daily lifestyle. So look for the evening formula coming in the months ahead.